Hello, hi everyone. Are you guys surprised to see me on Thursday? Yeah, we have kind of like shifted, the schedule a little bit to do our show on Thursday instead of Friday. So how is everyone doing today on Thursday evening? Are you guys um consume your dinner already? Hello, hello. Everyone who came in here, feel free to just say hi. Yeah. There's a couple of things that I want to share with you, right? So if you guys are on Facebook, that page when you come in, right, there is this link that allows you to click on a loud StreamYard to I think see your name or something like that. Yeah. So if you guys could enable that, that would be awesome. And I'll be able to actually, hey Puffin, hey. Yes. So if you guys actually enable StreamYard to recognize your name, then I will be able to see your name as well because I'm also using StreamYard. Yeah. So if you both are using, like on the same kind of operator, so I don't know how it works exactly, but if we both use the same operator on Facebook, which is StreamYard, then I'll be able to see your name and I'll be able to greet you. Yeah, which I love to do that. Yeah. So yeah, today it's Thursday, and there's something really really awesome that I'm gonna share with you guys. But obviously, before I do that, I'm gonna just do a quick, introduction. Like what we do today, and some announcement for today's show. Okay, so there's something very interesting that's gonna go on today. We're gonna play a game. Okay, and this game, you guys stand to benefit. What happened is this, right? So last week, remember, my colleague asked me to play this game where it's a snake and ladder thing, and then if anyone lose that game, we forfeit, right? Okay, luckily I didn't forfeit. Yeah, I managed to play it long enough. Okay, so this week, right, what's gonna happen is we have a catchphrase. So it's either a word or phrase you guys need to catch. Okay, so I'm going to drop this word or phrase at least 3 times during this presentation. Now, if you are able to catch that phrase, guys, if you are able to catch that phrase, you will stand to win a book or a voucher to some of the courses that some of these mentors run. Okay, but I'm pretty sure that you're going to at least win a book. Yeah. So what happened is or how it's going to work is when you hear that phrase or that catchword, you type it up. You go like, oh, I know what word it is already. Okay, it is ABC or whatever. Oh, I know what phrase it is. So it could be like Scooby Doo, or it could be like anything, right? So let me show you what happened in the last show, right? So somebody actually won something. Yeah, they actually listened and managed to catch the phrase. Yeah. Obviously it's salmon sashimi, right? So this participant, during the show actually managed to catch the phrase and win, a book. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. Yeah. So here's the thing. Today's session, right? I think I would suspect that my internet is a bit laggy. Yeah. So in case it lags, please let me know. Hey, hi. Oh, nice name, Hawk. Wow. So do you do bodybuilding? Oh yeah. Oh, how are you guys hearing me? Is there any lag? Is everything okay? Is the image clear? Is the sound clear? Because like the whole show that I do, right, is really for you guys. So if it's not clear, then you have to let me know so that at least I can try to fix it from my end. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Esther. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Esther. Thank you for the feedback. Yeah. Okay. So as you guys know, right, I have put in a lot of effort to build up this framework. It's called a VCS model. I really hope that it can benefit you guys because like a lot of people, right? I feel when they try to move from traditional business, traditional SME business, into the digital space, they have a lot of challenges. Yes, I understand that, like to some extent, the government is giving grants, giving access to CRM tools, accounting tools, and things like that to help people to go digital. But guys, what I really think is most important, right? To survive, in order to survive, is the skill set, right? The skill set, the mindset, and the knowledge. So I just felt that somehow that gap is not being properly addressed. So that's why I wanted to do this. It's totally out of my time. I just want to do this and give it back to the community because I feel that like just saying it's not good enough, right? You really have to do it. Yeah. So for me here is I am just hoping that a little bit effort from my end, right, will be able to help and contribute to the community. People who are still trying to find a way around this challenging time, right, this pandemic situation, how they can actually navigate in the world of digital. Yeah, in the world of digital, like what are the knowledge that's necessary. So so I felt that after so many years of coaching startups and all that, and obviously a lot of them, whether is it applications, whether is it online for web, they have always been in the digital space. And whether they have the knowledge in terms of growth hacking, how in the shortest, cheapest way to get customers buying from them, or like could they test a concept, right? Basically, they may have good ideas, innovative ideas, but how do they test them? So that's why I put all these learnings into some kind of methodology, and in that sense also build a framework which is almost like a step-by-step approach, which started from this image here, right? Where you can validate your concept, take your concept, and build it in the form of an MVP, minimal viable product, go to the market and get some customers. So customers means some people actually take out money from the wallet and pay not just saying, oh, your product is good, right? So get some customers, and eventually, you build a standard operating procedures that you can actually replicate, expand, and scale. Yeah. So that's the whole intent. Yeah. But today there's something special, right? I also feel that when I mentioned about mindset, I also need to share a little bit more on the skill set part. So today I have a very, very interesting topic, which is really part of my observation. I've seen like so many founders during my career, and I do notice that they have some level of similar traits, like the way they conduct themselves, the way they conduct their daily lives, the way they approach, people, the way they approach their business, right? There are some traits that I've observed, and that makes them very, very successful. And even founders that are very far fetched from where we are, right? Like the likes of your Steve Jobs, your Bill Gates, and all that, they also share very, very similar traits. Yeah. So if you guys want to learn these traits and be successful yourself, please type in yes. Hello, Chris. Hi. Awesome, awesome, guys. Awesome. Yes. So, before I go in, I would like to, once again, give you a little bit of a prep, okay, a mental prep for what's gonna come. And of course, skill number zero, as I always do, right? Is you must understand that all these skills that I'm going to share across, it has to translate to a permanent change, right? There's no point uh, feeling good about a skill that you cannot own. You want to own that skill. Yeah. So in my opinion, right, for you to actually own that skill, it has to be a lifestyle, a habit of sorts, right? It cannot be something temporary. So let me share with you what I mean by temporary. Okay. So for instance, right, like you feel very motivated, you feel like working really, really hard, and you grind for 90 days, and then you go back to your old habits. Or you have friends who feel that they really need to lose some weight. They hit the gym and they grind for 90 days, and they go back to their old eating habits or their old habits, right? Or there's someone that is very, very inspired and decided to, just read lots of books, and they'll grind and grind for 50 days, right? And then they give up. Yeah. And how about founders that have morning routines, for instance, right? They do meditation and all that kind of stuff. And after grinding for a while, eventually they go back to their old habits. So here's my point. Being motivated for a very short moment of time, it's very, very natural. It happens to a lot of people all the time. And going back to habits, right? So what they always say, right? Man, woman alike, we are all creatures of habit. Yeah. So be very mindful that if you want to really attain success, it has to be a progressive endeavor. Yeah. Eventually you will get there, but then it has to be a lifestyle. Yeah. So I've seen founders that when I mentored them, and they are doing 5K a month of sorts, right? Eventually, when they stay long enough, in their routine, they have break, even 30K a month and even more, much more. And I believe, like huge example, Chris, hi Chris. Yeah, Chris is a very awesome guy, right? So founders like Chris, has been sticking to routine, and this is one of the most disciplined and smartest guy I've known, right? They have been very, very successful, hugely successful, in their own ways. Yeah. So this is very important, that you guys have to take note. In order to achieve success, right? You have to stick to your routine. You have to make sure that you continue to grind every day. Yeah. So yes, I'm gonna start on with my first slide. Okay, my first skill. So here you go, guys. The first skill that I would love to share. Grace, don't be humble. Yeah. So the first skill that I would love to share is, you as a founder, your only one and most important survival skill is to be able to sell. Right? You have to be able to persuade, people in what you're trying to accomplish. Yeah, that's extremely important. Like even for starters, when you just get out into step out from the whole employment, the whole employment phase, right into the entrepreneur phase, right? Who do you need to persuade and convince? Your loved ones. You're married, and then you have to convince your wife, your husband. If you have friends, you have to convince them, to support you in some way or other, whether financially, emotionally. All right. Eventually, you have to be able to persuade also, in the business itself, for people to give you a chance. Like sometimes we think about the fact that we just started off as entrepreneur, right? We are nowhere in terms of credential, to be able to convince people like investors to invest in us, right? We do not have enough track record, right? So how do we actually persuade them, to invest in our business, right? So this is really an art. And how do you actually get suppliers to believe in you enough to actually give you, credit lines for inventory that you purchase from them, right? So that your cash flow, will not be too much of a burden. Yeah. So how do you actually persuade people, right? So that's very important. And guys, here's the point I want to point out. Not everything is measured by money. Yeah. So sometimes, you're able to get talents that believes in you, and wants to work for you because your persuasion, of your persuasive skill, right? So for instance, you could say I am just $1 million away, from a contract, and if I can bring on a very, very strong salesperson, I will be able to close that contract. Would you like to join my team? Yeah. Or if you tell an investor, right? I already have everything in place. I have the orders that I can't fulfill, but I need some level of financing in order to double or even quadruple my revenue. would you be able to be part of my success? Yeah. So these are what a lot of people call hustling, but to me, it's really about your persuasive abilities, right? So founders, and business owners alike, please remember that the most important skill that's going to help you and save you in your business is to be able to persuade, is to be able to sell. All right, guys. Yeah, if you believe in this, please type in sell, sell, sell. Okay, the reason why I want you guys to type, right, is sometimes is to really help you to recall things, so that when you type it out, like when you express it, you'll be able to remember them after I've completed the session. Yeah. So I hope in some sense, you guys will be able to benefit from this. Okay, the next thing, very interesting. Really, I'm not kidding you. It's really to be able to read people. Yeah. And there's so many techniques out there, right? So over here you can see, that whole feng shui chart with the different face. Yeah. So for a chart like this, it's not like something that I pull out of thin air, right? This kind of study has been around for the longest time. And yeah, obviously, some people would say, okay, probably it's some level of like snake oil and kind of, but whether is it like forensic psychological study, forensic behavioral study that the FBI use and all that kind of stuff, or is it from that whole part of face reading, all this attributes to just one important element, right? Is to be able to read that person, so that you can actually address um that person needs in a way whereby is very personalized to that individual. Yeah. Because there's no really, to be honest with you, like everyone is different. Even our two fingers are different in terms of thumbprint, right? So how are you able to cater to that differences? It's really your ability to read people. Yeah. Sometimes we tend to be a little bit like hard-headed, like sorry, strong-headed, and we just want to do it one way for everybody, and then after a while that kind of not work. So I'm sure like guys, sometimes in our career, in our growing years, right, we have been like ripped off or backstabbed or cheated in some way of other or other, right? So I'm sure there are some signals, trends, and pattern that you should have picked up along the way. There's a saying, right? Once bitten, twice shy. Yeah. So so we need to really learn how to read people and make sure that we avoid the problems and troubles, right, that's ahead of us. Whether is it going into a wrong partnership relationship, going picking up the wrong deal, believing in the wrong people, things like that. We over the years, there's no really hard and fast rule to doing that, but you need to understand like how to read those signals, and interpret them, right, to your benefit. Yeah. But on the other hand, right, not everything is negative. Okay, not everything is negative. So sometimes there are opportunities, like when there is buying signals. So your customers is actually ready to buy. Yeah, that's the time you have to be able to read that signal and not continue to sell, right? Until until probably the the bird just flew off your hand, right? So if you have grubs of that sales contract, right? Get it signed. Yeah, don't go on and on and on, because sometimes we tend to fall in love with our own voice. Yeah. So do not do that. Just make sure that you're able to read people, you will get hold of the signal, right? Yeah. Hey guys, of all that face, right? If you look at my face shape, right, which one do you think is the most fitting one? Let me see. I think maybe it's this guy over here. Let me see. How about how about um how about this one? Do you guys agree? No? Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's quite interesting. Yeah, I maybe should just attend some of these face reading courses and you'll be able to tell. But yes, so my point is, other than just face, you have to be able to also look at body language, right? The way they talk, the gestures, and also very important to be able to pick up deviation. Like really second from top. Interesting. Hey, Vanat. Hey, hi. So, yeah, you have to be able to pick up deviation because, like, for example, sometimes when people are nervous, right, they tend to clear their throat like this, right? So when they propose something to you and they start to do that, right, then you have to pick up these signals as well. Yeah. So sometimes just be a little bit more observant and that might save you a lot of problem. Or in fact, sometimes it might open up new opportunities for you. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. And one more thing to note, right? Okay. If you are able to read the person well, you are basically able to guide your message, right, onto target, right? And sometimes even the toughest person, right, to convince, right, if you are able to find, that that the spot, the soft spot or whatever, right, you might be able to hit the target, right? So yes, remember this, being able to read people, right, and learning that skill to do it, right, is probably one of your better investment in terms of grooming a skill set of your own when you run the business. Yeah. Okay, next. This this i i, I don't know, like I've seen it happen so many times. Guys, when you run a business, it's very important to understand this concept. When Steve Jobs passed away, right? Guess how many percent equity stake does he own, you know, of Apple when he passed away? Just make a guess of a number. Yeah. How many percent do you think Steve Jobs owned of his company when he passed away? Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, let me tell you, okay? You guys won't believe this. Steve Jobs owns a mere 0.6% of Apple Corp when he passed away. Yeah. 0.6%. Yeah. But you see, guys, the amount of money Steve Jobs made for the entire organization, right? Which is 99.4% of the people, you know, they, okay, how I got the numbers right. Okay, so basically he made a lot of people very rich, right, during his existence. And as a result of that, right, he became very, very rich himself. Okay, so that goes for Bill Gates, with Microsoft. That goes for Google. That goes for with Amazon, right? In building companies that actually make a lot of people rich, right? Inevitably they themselves become rich. I'll give you an example, right? Like with Google, right? There's a lot of rich employees, right, that eventually came out of their own. One example is Chris Sacker, right? He appears on Shark Tank, yeah. So Chris Sacker actually invested $300,000 in Uber, right? And obviously he's been diluted until where it is today. Uh, Chris Sacker only owned 4% of Uber right today. But guys, you think about it, he owns 4% of a $37 billion company. Yeah. So you get the drift, right? Sometimes when we build things, we must also have the capacity to share the wealth, you know, um, and not take on that defensive mode, because there's a tendency for a lot of founders, to keep, right, and to defend. But I felt that for you to be rich, for you to scale your wealth quickly, inevitably you have to build a mechanism, right, backed by your mentality and mindset to be able to help other people to grow as well, grow their wealth as well. Yeah. So that's extremely important. So here's how it's done, right? When you make money, a lot of people make money too. And because a lot of people make money because of you, they come back to you and they recommend and refer even more people to you, right? And they will continue to go into the business with you and they will make more money. And in that process, you make more money and even more people come to you. So can you see that whole cycle? And eventually, you probably will have deals for the rest of your life. Yeah. All right. So remember this, it's very important to be able to share your wealth, because you only have 24 hours a day. That's only how much you can spend to accumulate wealth. But if you can work with a lot of people and grow the wealth together with a lot of people, right, that will be able to escalate, the speed of you in terms of accumulating wealth, right? So that is very important. Okay, next. What does this picture show you? Anybody play this game? Hey, Zach. Hello. So anybody play this game? Okay, if you play this game, right, what do you think is the objective of the game? Okay, obviously you have to win the turfs, right, and rule and conquer the place. But my okay, maybe I should rephrase it. How do you think you can conquer and rule all the turf? Yeah. So if you are the lord, right? How do you think you can actually win, this game? Yes, that's right. Romance or Three Kingdom. I actually went to attend one semester on the strategy behind this as well, in school. Yeah, so it's super interesting, and I've even watched all the dramas. Okay, if you guys have not watched the Romance of Three Kingdom, Chinese drama, I think it's at least a good 10 years back, right? It's still really really nice to watch. There's so much awesome teachings in there. You know, don't watch Korean drama. Forget about that one. If you are doing business, you should watch Romance of Three Kingdom. Yeah. Yes. Whoa. I've got the answer. Recruit the best warrior. That is right. So, guys, millionaires master, okay, at leveraging talents. Okay. They use their charm, they use their network, they use their experience, right, for just one objective. They want the best fighters and they want the best generals, to work together with them. Yeah. So guys, if you want to conquer business, you need the top-notch generals to work together with you, because like there's always blind spots that you cannot cover all the time, right? There's always land that your hand cannot reach far out enough to get hold of that, right? What do you need? You need talented people, and that is why even in that story of Liu Bei trying to recruit Zhuge Liang, he actually have to go down 3 times to visit and beg him to join, his empire. Yeah. So it's extremely to be able to like recruit your team, recruit your talent, and to be able to delegate, to this team of people, to be able to crowdsource information from them. These are extremely important. So yes, number one is team recruiting. All right, whether it's tech, whether it's marketing, whether it's collaborating, you must be able to recruit a strong team, right? And on the other hand, you must also be able to recruit resources. Okay, resources such as things like mentors, partners, sales. So you have to be able to recruit all these people, right? Like I mentioned earlier. So for instance, if you have say, one contract away, from crossing your $1 million sales, right? What do you need? You need a strong salesperson to help you to pursue that, isn't it? So what you can do is really, to be able to frame up, your definition of success, share that success, with the people that you want to recruit, so that they also can join you and share that belief, and put in the work and be able to help you to accomplish and conquer that objective. Yeah. So yes, be able to recruit and be able to leverage on talented people and talented resources. All right, guys. Okay, let's come to the next one. Today is actually very challenging because, and very fortunate for me, right? I'm actually using this phone to broadcast the conversations. At the same time, I'm also using another computer to manage the slides. And guess what, guys? My Wi-Fi keep dropping on me, so that's why you see like intermediary slides disappearing, and there's all that things going on. So thank goodness I have a contingency plan to use a phone so that the live can keep going on. Yeah. All right. So okay, next is energy management. Now I find that this is a very, very interesting one because why? You see, sometimes, right, we tend to fall back on our upbringing, which is to say, work very hard, work very, very, very hard, if you want to achieve any level of success in life. But hey, guys, be very careful of this as well, right? Because, like I've seen so many friends, that it happened to them, which, they work to the point of exhaustion. And it's not just physical exhaustion, right? It's also emotional, spiritual exhaustion, where, they have this situation where it's called a burnout. Yeah. So if you guys are familiar, with burnout in your social circle, right? Please type the word burnout. Yeah. And why this is important? Because, sometimes if we are not careful, we tend to fall into that whole self-fulfilling habit. Yeah. Because working hard is one thing, but be able to be present is another thing. So if you look at my picture on the bottom right over here, right, which I said, like is your mind being very occupied um and full of worries, or when you are with someone or in the meeting, you're actually there, right? You're mindful, you're present. Yeah. So it's very important because not only you missed out all the important content and details, right? If your mind is always so occupied, um, people also missed out on your time, right? Like with your friends, your loved one, and all that, right? You're not present. You're not present. Yeah. So you really need to juggle, and be very careful, right, between your work and your energy level. Yeah. So I realized that a lot of founders, they actually have a very, very strict routine and discipline around energy management. No, I'm not kidding you guys. This is not like some fitness program asking you to, go exercise, diet. No, this is totally not about that. It's about your energy level, right? When you are grinding, when you are fighting in the trenches, right? When you're engaging people, what is your energy level? Like how available are you? How present are you? So that's important. Yeah. And if I could just split it in four parts, right? So your physical energy level, right? Don't just depend on coffee and Red Bull. You can consider things like yes, going for regular exercises, right? So what I do is I usually run first thing in the morning because that kind of help me to wake up and drop some weight, because like when you run in the morning and get your body and your blood flowing and all that, right? It burns the most fat as well. Yeah. Okay. Weight loss again. Once again, this is not about weight loss. This is about energy level. But you want to, basically what I'm trying to say is you want to jumpstart your day. Yeah. And 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 that's the other thing that like on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, you might also want to have some level of exercise regime that you stick to. Yeah. Okay. So exercise is very important to help you to manage your physical energy. Yeah. um and then the other element is really your emotional energy. So things like mindfulness, when you cultivate it through meditation, how do you actually manage your emotional aspect when you are being stressed, for instance, or when you have to make difficult decision, or when you are in front of someone that you don't like, right? How do you actually manage that emotion, right? So all these emotional management, right, my friend, saps energy too. Yeah. So you have to really figure out, like how do you actually do that? And one of my recommendation is really, to practice some kind of meditation technique, because meditation technique, right, it's able to help you to reconcile with a lot of things during those quiet moments when you meditate, right? So one of the ways is, to really feel your breath on the top of your lips. Just close your eyes. Nothing very complicated. There's a few YouTube videos that will help you with that, but basically it's just this, right? Focus on a point, which is here. Make sure that you feel your breath. Over time, you will definitely feel it, because I practice it for a while and then I feel it as well. And that help you to, like, just center, reconcile with some of the thoughts that you have, you know, and then slowly you will be able to find your rhythm and your pace. Yeah. So these are very important, because at least you have a point to fall back on at the time where you feel um very stressed, or you feel very confused. Yeah. Right. Do not react straight away. Do not show it straight away, right? Go back to this point, take a step back, recalibrate yourself, then you engage. Yeah. Because anything that you say out of a heated moment, right, would hurt you a lot much later. Yeah. You have to remember that. Okay. So remember this. Okay. Your mind, your emotions, right, and then your spirit also, right? So keep it up. So all these are important elements to make sure that you manage your energy well. Okay. So there are a few hacks that I use. The number one hack that I use is, like I mentioned, I have a morning routine. You can go and check out this book called The Morning Miracle. Okay. So what typically this book says is there's 6 7 things that you do, basically from running or having a quick exercise, to meditation, to journaling, right? Writing down your thoughts, to visualization, what you want to accomplish, to affirmation, to tell yourself that you're awesome, and things are great. You just have to be a little bit more patient, things like that, right? Yeah. So those are important things. Yeah. And there's 2 more hacks that I use. Very interesting. One is I have the tendency to actually take short naps in between work. So what that does for me is really to recharge very quickly. And one thing that I felt that it really really helped me in is to be able to figure things out. So somehow, if I'm at a deadlock, right, I couldn't figure certain things out on my work, I'll take like 10 15 minutes nap. So I'll just go somewhere, a nice corner, and I just doze off. Yeah. And guys, you won't believe this. That 10 15 20 minutes when I wake up, I tend to have that solution. So the solutions will be brewing in my head. Yeah. Brewing in my head while I'm taking a rest. So that's one of my hack. And some of the founders also agree that power naps are very very useful. Yeah. And my second hack, right, is I like to stand when I work. Yeah, so I always use a standing desk, because that helps me to keep my energy level at the most optimum, yeah, state. Yeah, so I stand when I work. Yeah, it's good for my back. It's good for my posture, and it's great for my energy level. So guys, I hope that these 2 little hack, right, will be able to help you. But the most important part about energy management, right, is remember this: you guys are running a marathon. It's not a dash. Okay. So remember to know how to take care of yourself, right? Regulate your efforts, take good care of yourself, your emotional health, your spiritual health, as well as your mental and your physical health. Okay. So remember, you are the biggest asset, right? A lot of people will depend on you for jobs. Yeah. So take good care of yourself. Okay. Okay. The next one, right? It's on time management. Okay. Yeah. You see, I'm having this Wi-Fi thing going on with, and I'm unable to share my slides right now. But okay, when the Wi-Fi comes back on, I'll be able to share it. But okay, so the next thing, and I'm sorry, there's some delay, right? Yeah. Okay. The next thing I want to share is on time management, and I believe that I've spoke to you guys about, one of the biggest mistake that early founders tend to make is not having a schedule, right? So on time management, the big saying goes, if you don't, if you fail to plan, right? In other words, you're saying that you're planning to fail. Yeah. So make sure that you you have a strict schedule that you adhere to, but I would like to call it a ritual. Yeah. So so what people typically do, what founders that are successful typically do is they have a calendar and they block out times for certain function. They don't need to tell, exactly what they do on that day, and forecast it ahead. All they did is just say, for instance, from 7 to 9, you know, it's the morning miracle. And in the morning miracle, there's just 6 things that you have to do. Yeah, so it's a block of time you put away. From say 9 to 10 is probably commute or something like that. You just plan your blocks of time, yeah, and stick to it, right? Like it's a ritual. It's very important because the more you get into it, right, the more you are becoming very efficient at it, yeah. And time management, right, the most important element, right, is to make sure that there's this concept called less is more, right? So in time management, you got to make sure that you're able to accomplish this concept where less is more. Okay, let me give you some example. If this meeting is 1.5 hours, you have to think about whether you can, accomplish it within 1 hour. If this sales presentation is 30 minutes, are you able to close the sale within 10 minutes? Yeah. If you want to give an instruction to someone, right, to execute on the task, are you able to give the instruction in a way whereby, this person don't have to circle back to you, to ask more questions? Yeah. So this is really also an important element on time management. So I spoke about scheduling, how do you actually manage schedule? And I also spoke about, in terms of um, your ability to do more with less time, yeah, to be able to compact time. Okay. So guys, I'm really sorry. I'm not too sure why the slides are not cooperating right now. I don't want to do too much things to the internet in case it gets cut off completely. Yeah, but if you guys are okay, I will just continue with my presentation. Yeah. Okay. So the next point, right? It's really uh how you manage money. So there's two elements to this. One is cash flow. The other one is cash reserve. Yeah. So in terms of cash flow, you know, you 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 need to make sure that you have this practice, which is what I call delayed enjoyment or delayed, okay, awesome. The slides are back up. Yeah. Thanks, guys. You guys are super, 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 super nice, super encouraging. Thanks, guys. Yeah. So so with with this cash flow concept, right? What I'm trying to say is, uh, during the early days when you try to build a business, whatever you earn, right, try to plonk it back into your business. Because you know why? There's a tendency for us to want to celebrate, right, quickly. Like sometimes people just draw out the cash to buy a fancy car, to buy a house or splurge on a vacation, right? So that is very dangerous because you will never know when you actually need that money, right? So so what is important, right, is to be able to reinvest, whatever you earn from your business back into your business, especially during the early days. Why? Because cash is king. It allowed you to make certain decision, but more importantly, right, it allowed you to get better deal because you can walk away from the deal. You can afford to walk away. Yeah. So the most important part about negotiation is to be able to walk away, right? If you feel that this deal is not favorable to you, right, you don't have to do it because why? You can afford it, right? And because you can afford it, you usually get a better deal in the end of the day, the deal that you wanted. Yeah. If you're backed by enough finance, enough cash, um, then obviously you don't have to be too concerned in terms of taking up very toxic deals, yeah, that's offered in front of you. So Singapore is a very, very good example, right? They have built up years of cash reserve, and what happened during the pandemic is really, they have the ability to really tide through, this period by tapping into the cash reserve. Yeah. So this is also a very important lesson that, leaders, founders, and business owners alike, right? You guys have to be cognizant about, things like that, which is management of your money. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna move on to the last one. And I really, really hope this time the slides is going to cooperate with me. Yeah. Okay. The last one, it's is what I always call saving the best for the last, right? The last one is how to be aggressively patient. Okay. So you'll be thinking, it really sounds really strange, like aggressive and patient at the same time. Okay. So here's what I mean, guys. When when you are pursuing your business, in terms of your efforts, right? Like keep feeding your mind with knowledge. Speak with people, engage, find out, where the problems are needed to be solved, where the pain points are. Keep working very hard. Keep going back at it. Like keep going back to your customer, keep going back to your mentors. And keep improving and keep polishing your art, your skill. Keep seeking for opportunities, keep on learning. So in that sense, your aggression never stop. Yeah. But on the other hand, you know, when your voice, that of doubts, your voice of doubts sets in, keep asking you, is it worth it or not? Like I'm so tired, like this customer is so negative, I'm feeling da 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 da. All these negative thoughts comes in, right? This is where you have to be aggressively patient as well. Okay. So you can be aggressive in so many things, but you have to be very, very patient as well, because you must know at the back of your head, one day it will come. One day my sale will come. One day the check will come. Let me share with you an example, right? Yeah. So whether is it, you're otorhinologist, right? Or an insurance agent, okay? If you have been seeing customers, have you been planting seeds? Every other day you plant a seed, you plant a seed, you plant a seed, right? And you plant 50 seeds a week, which is 50 appointments. You see customers, you see clients, 50 appointments a week, right? 1 month later, you did about 200 appointments. 2 months later, 400, 600, 800. One day, somebody's going to call you, and say, hey, so and so, you have mentioned about, this opportunity and all that. I am interested to find out more, right? And think about it. If you continue to plant all this seed, right, it's going to continue to grow. And at some point in time, you will have success. Like the industry or the marketplace is going to recognize that you are the go-to person. You did a really, really good job. You have a really, really good reputation. So what's going to happen with all these seeds that are planted? It's going to open up like a floodgate. Right? At first, people are not too sure, but the moment there's some level of confirmation, right? All your effort, all your aggressive sales calls, right? your persistence is going to pay off. Yeah. So this is what I mean. It's you're not saying, psycho myself to be positive. It's not that. It's really about, having the belief that what you are doing right now translate into some level of wins at the end of the day. You just have to trust that, and continue to push, continue to do what you need to do. It's called the daily honest job. Yeah. Okay. So guys, this is the number 8 skill secrets that I want to share today. Yeah. Okay. While I'm waiting for the internet to recover, right? I would like to open up for questions. So if you guys have question, right, just please feel free to share with me. I'm gonna use my mobile now, just to look at your questions, just in case I can't respond to you guys on the laptop. Yeah. So yes, yeah. So I'm just gonna share the summary of basically what are the 8 secret skills that I've shared today. Meanwhile, while you guys just feel free to pop me questions, and then I will spend some time addressing those questions. So the first one is about being very persuasive, but more importantly, right, you guys must be able to sell. As a founder, you must be able to sell. That is your greatest asset. Yeah. Secondly, you have to be able to read people, right? To be able to tell, those signals. Sorry, not tell, but catch those signals as it comes. So that you can be able to make sure that you send your message into right directly to the target. Yeah. And thirdly, right, and I feel that this is also a very extremely important one, is to be able to share your wealth. Yeah. So the more people you can make them rich, the richer you're gonna be. Yeah. So it's a very collaborative mechanism. Yeah. Second and fourth is to be able to recruit talents, right? So we look at Romance of Three Kingdom. How come some of the warlords wasn't successful and some were very successful? Is because they are able to recruit some of the best people and leverage on their skill that they don't have themselves, right? So I'm sure Liu Bei obviously won't be as strong a fighter as Zhang Fei, or a strong strategist as Zhuge Liang. But then again, he managed to recruit these people, and he managed to win a lot of huge war, during that era. Yeah. And the fifth is to be able to manage your energy level. Yeah. So remember this, guys, you are running a marathon, right? It's not a 100-meter dash. Yeah. So you have to really take good care of yourself, love yourself, and make sure that you always have that optimal energy to engage people, right? To engage your business, whether it's your staff, whether it's your partners, whether it's your suppliers or investors, right? Make sure that you're always present. Yeah. To me, this is also a very important element, because I always feel that it's a waste to have float through life. You got so busy, you really kind of not be able to recollect what happened. And sometimes people just kind of like, what would I put it, got so busy to the point where you ask them, hey, back in 2015, right, what do you think is the most phenomenal thing that happened in your life? And sometimes, right, they're not able to actually answer that. So I felt that it's really a pity that people actually live through life but not able to remember what they have been through. Yeah. And then the next would be on time management. Obviously, it's not just about scheduling, but making your schedule a ritual. Making your schedule a ritual. Okay. That's very important, because people form habits, and if you have a ritual and you stick to it, eventually it became a lifestyle. Yeah. And the other aspect of time management is how can you create this effect called less is more. So how do you able to position your instruction, for instance, to your staff, right, whereby they don't have to circle back to you too often. They're able to actually execute and carry out what they need to do very efficiently, because they understood exactly what to say. So you can say the same thing but in a way that is so succinct and so clear, that you don't have to say much more. Yeah, and people get it. Yeah. Okay. Then next would be, how you can manage money. So basically, I talk about cash flow and cash reserve. Yeah. So make sure that you always reinvest back into your business. Make sure that you have very, very good cash flow. Your account receivables and account payables, and at the same time, make sure that you build up your war chest, yeah, so that when it's an opportunity in front of you, right, you basically have enough cash to get hold of the opportunity. Yeah. So it's very important to make sure that you manage your finance, but more particularly your cash flow. Yeah. And the last one that I shared today is really how to really be aggressively patient. So in that sense, as you pursue what you need to pursue in business, right? Do not forget to be able to not lose sight of your goal, right? Sorry. This internet has been going quite a little bit of a haywire. So yes. So I was saying that, okay, I hope you guys can still see me, okay? Yeah. So I'm on the last point now, bear with me. So yes, so be aggressively patient, trust the process, and eventually you guys will get there, okay? Yeah. Okay, guys. I hope the whole internet interference doesn't really affect your experience too much. Okay, I hope I was able to deliver today's 8 learning lessons to everyone. And if there's any questions, always feel free to text me on the Facebook page. Yeah. Hey, that's one question. So let me take a step at this one, right? Okay, so basically it says, like on sharing your wealth, right? Is there a framework to make sure that as you dilute your shares, you still know that you are not being, eaten alive? So the question on hiring the best, when do you know if you're ready to hire the best? Example, if you're, a young entrepreneur, you can hire someone more experienced, but at the same time, you know that he might overshine you during every meeting. How do you handle this? Okay, no worries, no worries. So David, let me do it one at a time. Okay, now on shares, I think my point is really this. Okay, you have to raise what you have to raise, but always be very mindful that you have a very good understanding of valuation of company, right? Don't shortchange yourself. If you have a good grasp of valuating company, right, you will not be taken advantage of when you come to the negotiation table. That's number one. Okay. Number two, now while you are helping others to become wealthy, and in the process you are being diluted, right? You must remember this. End of the day, you own a small equity of a much bigger entity, right? And that's the ultimate outcome you want to achieve. Okay. So let me position this again. You can be 100% equity stakeholder, right, of this company of yours that you own. Okay. versus if you can triple that revenue that this company own, right, by hiring 2 more person, but your equity gets diluted a little bit, and then usually encourage all founders to carve up at least 10 to 15%, right, which is what I call the ESOP, employees share option pool. So you can draw down from the ESOP for staff that you believe you want to retain. Yeah. But otherwise, when you raise funding and the dilution happens and all, that's very normal. Just make sure that you understand your valuation well, so that you're not taken advantage of, right? Anything that you're not too clear, feel free to reach out on that. Okay. And the other element is really how as a younger entrepreneur, right? You don't want somebody to outshine you. Right? David, if you find someone that is able to outshine you, right? Um, I think you found a treasure, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, you want to remember the romance of Three Kingdom story, right? I'm very sure Zhuge Liang outshines a lot of people, not just his boss, right, Liu Bei, right, or his peers like Zhao Yun and all that. Zhuge Liang outshines almost most of his contemporaries. Yeah. So if you find someone of that caliber, right, I think it's awesome news for you, right? And sometimes you just have to be able to um, convince someone by influencing someone rather than forcing someone. So what I meant by influencing someone, you have to be able to say, okay, you have to be able to lead by example, so that you can say things like, I would recommend you to do it this way. I've succeeded in using this way. What you want to consider. Perhaps you might think of this method or this approach in order to close the sale, because I've closed the sale previously, and this approach works. So things like that, you try to use influence over people, and rather than your way or the highway kind of style of approach. I think that usually works. Yeah. All right. So I hope I answer your question. Yeah. And yes, there's one more. Let me take one more. Okay. So Chandra did mention that can you help me economically, either by providing any job or any means, as I don't have money to continue my education. Okay, Chandra. So that's very interesting. I think probably from that aspect, you might want to consider seeking some level of social help. I think there's some social avenue that will be able to help you in that aspect. Personally, um yeah, I mean, I wouldn't advise you to go into entrepreneurship right now, and today's discussion is really about entrepreneurship and all. Because you might not be in a very good frame of mind if you are so stressed and torn between you know um uh, fulfilling your daily needs, right? Yeah. So make sure that you get the correct help, whether from family members or even from social enterprises, right? Get help from those body. Make sure that you at least have some level of savings before you venture into any business. All right, guys. So yes, thank you for being here tonight. I really wish that the session is much more awesome. If not because of the Wi-Fi lag and all that, but otherwise, have a very good Thursday evening and an awesome weekend ahead of you. All right, guys. If you think that whatever helped you guys, please like and share, and I hope that you will also benefit more people. Okay. All right, guys. Have a very, very good night, and I'll see you next Thursday. All right, next Thursday. Yeah. See you guys. Bye bye.